Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the final stretch. The Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy is now entering the final part, and there has been a bunch of different theories and questions floating around, like what Sephiroth's end goal is Aerith actually alive? No, she isn't. What is Zack's role in all of this? But one thing that we are still trying to answer to this day is, will they be changing the ending of Final Fantasy VII?
These comments are gonna suck ass, man.
It's a question that's been brought up due to the nature of these remakes, going for more of a reimagining of the story. They're still telling the original story, but with expanded lore in some areas, and the order of events seeming to be switched around, especially in Rebirth, and the ending of both games were mostly different, even adding some completely new stuff that wasn't in the original game. So in today's video, I want to answer the question, will they be changing the ending? And I also want to give my 2 cents and give my opinion if they should change it. So let's answer that first question. Will they actually change the ending of Final Fantasy VII? Well, short answer is I don't know. Long answer is I still don't know. But we're gonna try to give a educated guess. So to start off, I want to talk about what Kitase said leading up to the FF7 Rebirth release, that they will be covering everything from the original Final Fantasy VII. So fans that are worried that they won't be able to put everything in won't have to worry. But he did say that the order of events could change up a bit. And we can see that this is true. Fort Condor, while mentioned, we do not visit. It's not even in the main island. It's just a separate place now. We also don't visit Wutai. We don't visit the Northern Crater. We don't visit the Snow Town. We don't visit Rocket Town. Those are all going to be left for part 3 of the remake. And when looking at the main story, at least, a lot of the changes that happen in the story is just expanding on the world building, expanding on story events, or just swapping the order of events in the story, or adding characters that were not previously in the original game, like Cissnei, to better weave in games like Crisis Core, which obviously didn't exist back when the original came out. But the main story and main events still happen, mostly sticking to the original story. But for those who aren't blind, we also know that there's a majority of changes that happen in the game at the end. Like in Remake, they introduced the idea of the Whispers and Fate, and that is carried over to Rebirth, where now Sephiroth controls the Whispers to some extent. And even Sephiroth and Aerith seem to be different here, both seeming to know way more than they're letting on. Sephiroth's goals here also seem different in Rebirth. Instead of wanting to just control Earth, he now wants to control the multiverse with the plans of merging them all into one reality, which we see in the end of Rebirth, obviously, when he tries to merge all of the worlds. And this obviously did not happen in the original. But both endings do not change the trajectory of the characters. At the end of Remake, the characters still go to Com, and at the end of Rebirth, the characters still plan on making their way to the Northern Crater, even with the brand new stuff that they added mid-story, like that whole plotline with Tifa going into the livestream and having her own little livestream sequence. That was mostly done to establish the lore with the new black and white Whispers that don't really become relevant until the end of the game, and to expand the relationship between Cloud and Tifa. So from everything that we have seen so far, it seems like they have no interest in removing anything or skipping over anything that happened in the original game, but rather expand upon them and add something new so that the players who've played these old games don't feel like the original game is being disrespected, but they're also getting a new experience, which is exactly what Kitase said he wanted to do. So do I think they're gonna change the ending? I think they will, maybe a little bit, but it will probably be in the same vein as everything we've been seeing so far. So I think at the core, the final part of the game will stay the same. But I do want to expand upon what I really think in this next section. Do I want them to change the ending of the game? Now, I know it's clear that they're building a new story with something here that could lead to a different outcome for these characters, and honestly, it's been a hot topic of debate, with some people thinking that they shouldn't change the ending of the game because it would disrespect the original, and they want to see the original ending in the remake graphics. While you have the other side saying that they would want a different ending because it would feel like all the changes that they're making to the game would be for nothing, and they want to see a happy ending for these characters. Now, for me, I think there's a way where the original ending is possible, but there can still be changes for the ending. Stay with me now. A lot of the times when I see people discussing a different ending for the game, I see them talk about, oh, I want Aerith to live and get a happy ending with the gang, or something similar with Zack. And I get it, they just want a happy ending for the crew rather than the bleak future that they will end up with. And yes, the whole theme of the game is breaking fate with the Whispers and all that. It would make sense. Another thing that I've seen is when people say that they want the original ending of the game, People ask, then what would be the whole point of killing the Whispers? But I think now the Whispers serve a different purpose than what they did in the remake. In the remake, the whole point of them was that they were supposed to keep the order of events in order. But once we kill them, we can see in Rebirth, Sephiroth now has control of them in some way, and now he is in control of fate. But we also see that Aerith has control of them in some way with the black and white Whispers. And now in respects to Aerith's death and how bringing her back would be quote-unquote perfect for the theme of the game, that doesn't make any sense. Unless we're in a time traveling now, Aerith is dead in multiple timelines. She's assumed to be dead on the date timeline because we can see Sephiroth in the back, and the Aerith in this timeline gets kebabbed. And as far as we're aware, ever since part 1, where Barrett was brought back one time because he wasn't supposed to die there, Aerith cannot be brought back to life. Fate is now broken, so whatever happens, whether it happened in the OG or not, cannot be undone. Even with the Whispers, they would keep her dead because she was supposed to die there. And the reason why I don't want them to change that part of the game is because it would go against the whole theme of Final Fantasy VII. While yes, the theme of the remakes is definitely about fate, the original theme of Final Fantasy VII is still very much present in the remakes. Loss, and how we deal with loss. And I feel like to change that part of the ending, like reviving characters like Aerith and Zack out the wazoo, who are so crucial to the characters and their progression, it would just not feel right. It wouldn't sit right with me. Their deaths are crucial to these characters' progression and growth. And similar to how keeping the ending the same, bringing these characters back to life would also feel like the theme of this game would be for nothing. Because, oh, your favorite characters are alive now, so all your pain and suffering is just gone now because you can just bring people back to life. And also, I think people need to realize that her death is more crucial than you think because 1, her prayer to Holy went through, and 2, she's able to bring up the live stream to help Holy to stop Meteor. And something that I find interesting is that, again, the main theme of the game is loss and how to deal with loss. And back in the day, besides the characters in the games being upset with Aerith's death, the players themselves were so upset at her death that to this day, there's still countless theories on how to bring Aerith back to life. And now, with the Rebirth, not only do we have Cloud in denial about her death, we have again the players coming up with different theories on how the Whispers are gonna bring Aerith back, and it's almost like the same effect that her death had now was the same effect that it had back in 1997. This is this is so funny. It's both an example of history repeating itself and life imitating art, which is do you understand why this is my favorite game ever made, dog? But I want to finish off with what I think could happen. So I already made a video on this a while back, but to make it short and simple, because my opinion has changed a little bit, I think the ending will be the original ending. We're gonna go to the crater, kill Sephiroth, Cloud will kill him in his mind, and Meteor will be stopped by Holy and the livestream. But the game doesn't end at the flash of light because we never get to see what happens after that flash. But that is where you put all of the changes. We cut to the live stream and we see Omni Aerith and Omni Sephiroth, the one that we killed. And as we know, the reason Sephiroth returns in Advent Children is because he's able to stay alive in the live stream out of pure hatred. So Aerith finds him and completely deletes him from the live stream. So there's no way for him to come back, no way for the cycle to repeat, and no way for him to come back for Advent Children to even exist. And then we go outside to everybody in the world and stuff can happen there, and this is where the characters get their happy ending. I think Aerith stays in the live stream. She needs to stay dead. I'm sorry, I do not think bringing her back would be good writing, honestly. And there you have it. Just like that, you have the world where we not only do we have the original ending, but then we also have the changes to the timeline, so we get that new ending, just like Phil Leotardo from Sopranos.
I compromised.
And it seems like Nomura somewhat agrees with me, because recently it's been confirmed that the plot for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is done. And to quote Kitase, he says himself, as the next part is the conclusion, I gave Nomura the homework that I wanted something that would respect the original while also giving a sense of satisfaction beyond what could be experienced in the original, something that could conclude the remake project. Now, I don't know if it's exactly what I said, but it looks like he wants to do that thing where he gives the respect to the original and the original fans while giving something new that we couldn't get from the original. So in my head, for him to completely scrap the original ending would be complete contradiction to what he said. And before we go, I just want to quickly touch on the argument of, oh, if you want the original ending, go play the original game. What? At the end of the day, it's still a remake. I want to see the ending in the remake stuff. This is such a stupid, that's like me saying, oh, you want a new ending? Well, go make it yourself. Like, what are you talking about? Oh my God. We have to remember, this is a remake at the end of the day. Everything that happened in the original game still happens here. So why would we not expect the original ending? That's what's confusing me. But hey man, it's your life. And with that is my opinion of if we even should change the ending and what I think will happen if they will change the ending. And that's really all I have to say for today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment down below, what do you guys think? Should they change the ending? Should they not change the ending? I'm not excited about that. Oh, guys, I love you guys. I love you guys so much. You understand this? I would not have my channel without you guys. But for some reason, every time I do like a discussion video on Final Fantasy, it's like, oh, it's never good. The comments are never peaceful, man. Please, guys, let's be respectful in the comments. Let's not be nasty in the comments, please. That's all I'm asking, please. But yeah, that's really all I have to say for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. I got break. I got a week off of school, so I'll be making a big video next week. So hope y'all are excited for that. I think y'all are gonna be very excited because it's something I've been wanting to make for a long time, for years actually. So hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.